Pace. 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 Pace.
Volume.
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 Pitch.
Diction.
Resonance.
Join us as we explore and paint our vocal canvas, exploring the 5 aspects of voice which we use to orally communicate with one another. Please be advised that there is explicit content in this limited series podcast.
Pace, the speed at which one speaks. Pace can greatly influence the clarity and impact of the message. Speaking too fast may cause the listener to miss key points, while speaking too slowly may cause the listener to lose interest.
Sold! Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a truly remarkable piece coming up next. A gem from the annals of musical history, a treasure that has shaped the very fabric of American music. Yes, my friends, I hold in my hands the original sheet music for I've Got Rhythm by the legendary George Gershwin, a song that has become an anthem, a standard, a cornerstone of the Great American Songbook. Look at this, folks. See the elegant penmanship, the notes dancing across the page, the very DNA of a melody that has been covered by the greatest artists of the 20th and 21st centuries. This isn't just sheet music, ladies and gentlemen. This is a piece of history, a testament to Gershwin's genius. This is the birth certificate of a song that's made hearts soar, feet tap, and spirits dance.
Speedy Snail's delivery service, where we understand the importance of pace. Not too fast that we miss the details, not too slow that we delay your package. We strike the perfect balance to ensure your delivery's on time, every time. Speedy Snail's delivery service, because pace makes perfect.
Listeners, now it's time for our pace challenge. Try reading a paragraph at a slow, medium, and fast pace. Notice how the pace affects your understanding and the overall feel of the paragraph. Share your fastest and slowest reading times with us on our social media platforms using the hashtag #VocalCanvasChallenge. And on to our last piece for this week, The Ugliest Guy in the World by John Heron.
I'm looking out there at all you pretty people, and I'll tell you this. I ain't one of you. I'll bet if we had a contest for the ugliest guy in the room, I'd win. Now, don't try to tell me about that crap about inner beauty. I mean, I don't smell too bad once I'm cleaned up, but I'm ugly. Used to be when I was lonely, I would go into one of those bars, one of those places where everybody's pretending to be drinking, but they're all looking at me, and I'd clear the room. Nobody ever talked to me. I stopped going to those places. Who wants to go to a place that makes you lonelier? And then I met Frankie. Now, this is a good story. One day, I was on my truck, I'm a garbage man, and I was pulling up to this building on 86th, and there was this guy putting out the garbage, and he looked so sad. And he was having a hard time carrying the load, and just as I got there, he dropped a big bag, and it split open, so I went to help him, and we pulled the stuff together and threw it back into the truck, and he looked at me with those sad eyes, and I thought, he's a guy who's lonelier than me. He thanked me a lot and asked me if I wanted a cup of coffee. Well, that was one of those days when it seemed like everybody in New York was choosing to throw out their heaviest garbage, and I was tired. Oh man, was I tired. So I said, sure, I could use a pick-me-up, but I don't smell too good. And he said, my nose is always stuffed up, so I couldn't smell you anyway. Come on in. We had a good laugh at that, and then we went in. He started to pull stuff together and make me a cup, but his place was a total mess. He couldn't find the cups, and he couldn't find the sugar, and I could tell he wasn't used to having nobody in his apartment, so I said, hey, how about I take you out for a good cup of coffee and a piece of pie? I mean, I thought the guy was so sad, maybe I could cheer him up. Funny, as soon as I said it, It was like a little Christmas light got turned on in this guy's eyes. I thought maybe nobody ever asks him anything. I mean, the guy was really lonely. Come on, I said. I need a rest, and you need a friend. So we went off to that coffee shop on 85th, you know, the one with the funny blue sign. I had a piece of pie and a cup of coffee, and so did he, and then we both had another one, and then a burger, and then a piece of cake. I mean, when you look like me, you don't worry too much about your weight. And before we knew it, we were talking and talking, and it was a couple hours later, and the waitress was giving us looks, so I left her a big tip, and we took a walk, and we talked some more, and then I remembered I had to finish my route, so he said, why don't you come back later, and I'll take you for pizza? Well, me and pizza were the best of friends. So a few hours later, there we were, scarfing down a large pepperoni with pineapple. We both liked the same kind of pizza. I thought I was the only one. And then he invited me back to his place for a drink, and before I knew it, it was the next morning. That was some night, let me tell you. And I woke up and looked at him, and he looked at me, and there were those little Christmas lights in both our eyes. And it's been like that ever since. 10 years now, me and Frankie. So, all I gotta say to you pretty people is this. I may be the ugliest guy in the room, but I'll bet I'm also the happiest. Just remember, somebody out there likes a good piece of pepperoni and pineapple pizza or whatever it is you like. And there's somebody with a stuffed nose who doesn't care how you smell, and I know you'll find them. I know it because I did. And when you do, those little lights will go on and they won't ever go off again. Well, it's been real nice talking to you, but I gotta finish my route, because the sooner I do, the sooner I get home to Frankie.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Vocal Canvas. This limited series podcast was made possible by the East Brunswick Public Library, Playhouse 22, Next Gen Acting, our really creative community writers, and our fabulously talented voiceover cast from New Jersey. Hope you enjoyed, and tune in next time.